I've been using e-ink tablets like the Remarkable, the Supernote books, and this is the Big Me instead of a paper planner for 4 years now. And YouTubers, we use the word game-changing far too often, but e-ink has been more than that. And for the first time since that I bought the Remarkable one 4 years ago and I started reviewing e-ink tablets, I have left them at home. Yep, all of them. And so what have I done instead? I've been using my Z Fold 3, which is a foldable phone with an OLED screen on the inside instead of my e-ink tablets. And the big question is, can I get just as much focus on this as I do at work with my e-ink tablets? And although this phone is nearly 3 years old and I have replaced the screen twice on it now, I'm wondering to myself, what am I going to get next? What am I going to get when this screen does go again? Do I really want to spend £1,500 on another folding phone? Or do I actually want a more minimal experience? This phone, this tablet, is designed to be everything in your pocket. It's practically the size of an iPad mini. And well, for that use case, I think Samsung Z Folds are the best right now. I do think of the Pixel Fold and they're the other Chinese ones, and I think they're really good because they get the screen ratio right. They're shorter and fatter when folded, but none of them have the Wacom pen input on the inside. That's one of the best features of these e-ink tablets, is this Wacom EMR stylus. So for me, that's also one of the best features of this, the Samsung Z Fold. And the question for me over the last 2 weeks has been, can I have just as good an experience with this folding phone as a planner compared to an e-ink tablet? So let's find out. One of the best things about it is, well, you've got that OLED screen, and that is really good for using any apps, and the planner included. We'll come back to that in a moment though. Another really great benefit, of course, is a phone, so you're always connected. Because it's got the Wacom EMR, you've got accurate writing. Although there isn't textured glass like there is on the Big Me, for instance, and lots of the e-ink tablets, which just give you that little bit of friction between the pen and the screen and simulates paper. And I find you can write much more neatly when you do have that. And as a few of you pointed out, well, the Samsung Notes app is really quite good actually, the one that just comes with it. And I just put my PDF planner into it, it converted it into a note file, and I was away. And of course, there's loads of different choices of which app to use for your notes. In e-ink tablets, because they're designed for the e-ink screens, you have to use the bespoke software that the e-ink companies themselves have designed for that screen to enable it to have the low latency. And they do have low latency, but of course nowhere near as low latency as an OLED screen is. Of course, the biggest pro has been having it in your pocket with all of its power, with an app basically for everything. However, some of the big cons: the battery won't last if you're using it constantly, but just pulling it out of your pocket and taking a few notes, it has managed just fine throughout the day. And also, I'm charging it on my way to and from work in the car, so it does mean that it lasts the full day for me. And yeah, as expected, the OLED screen, although it's absolutely glorious to look at for video, it's not a restful place for your eyes in the middle of a working day, looking at LCD computer displays or LCD displays in the classroom. The biggest downside for me was using it as a professional planner whilst it's also your personal phone. My planning sessions on here felt less focused. There were times, for instance, where I pulled it out to maybe jot something down and I forgot what I was intending to write down because some notification took my attention away. Or of course, I simply checked the YouTube Analytics app, which is a bad digital habit that I've developed. But wait, the biggest issues are also the biggest pros. OLED screen and the convenience. Both of those make this a great phone, but they make it a poor professional tool. I think more than anything, I need to reassess my relationship with the phone if it were ever to be a truly professional tool. And right now, as this is my personal phone, I stubbornly refuse, for example, to put my work email onto it. But if you were maybe part of the technical IT staff and you were looking to buy one digital tool for your leadership team, for instance, this would be a great phone to buy if it could be used as just a work phone. And maybe there's a way that we can have a bit more of a routine on it. We can use Microsoft badged apps on here, and in that way you can turn your work apps on or off so you're not getting work emails out of hours. You can also schedule do not disturb modes, and I've done that over the last couple of weeks. You can have a routine whereby you won't get notifications apart from calls or messages, for instance, during work hours. And I think maybe if I spent a bit more time tweaking those settings to what suits me, maybe giving myself like a 4-hour morning focus period when I'm working at home, rather than having no notifications all day. But I do still prefer that things are separate when I'm working on my e-ink planner and I've got it in permanent do not disturb mode and it's just really focused on note taking or the reading that I need to do for work. I do want this technology in my life. There's not really a reason why this machine can't be my everything computer in a few generations of this hardware. When you want a keyboard and mouse, you can dock it and use it in DeX mode. When you want quick reference, it's ready to unfold in your pocket. It can, and it probably will eventually be, an AI assistant like the Rabbit R1 promised to be. But what it isn't is a replacement for paper. And I think I've convinced myself that I'm probably buying another one of these when this one finally bites the dust, whatever the latest generation of Z Fold is. But I've also convinced myself that I like the paper replacement as my planner at work. I tried to go into it with an open mind, and I found lots of positives using the OLED screen at work, but none of them have convinced me to leave behind the e-ink tablets permanently.